You are listening to Bay FM 107.9.
The remix of Calvin Harris's How Deep Is Your Love sneaked into the show this morning. Making it 2 in a row on the Darren Mann Breakfast Show. Former number 1 from our top 30. Before that, we had David Gqeberha reworking the Alphabet 80s classic, Forever Young. Those two getting us, just about getting us to 10 past 8 on this 14th day of July. Our regular Tuesday feature with our friends from WeSellHouses.co.za taking the airwaves now. It's time for Property Post. We welcome back Simon and Monique. Good morning.
Good morning. Amazing to be here.
Good morning.
Hey, did we have a good week?
Yes, an excellent week. Thank you.
Fantastic. So what I've done is I've gone onto your website, and I'd encourage listeners to go along and check it out as well, WeSellHouses.co.za. And it's a treasure trove of property information. If you do go along there, WeSellHouses.co.za. You don't mind if I run through?
No, not at all.
Some of you've got the complete home buyer's guide,
yes,
which is up there, and I think it'll be interesting for folk, whether they're buying or selling, to just check out some of the details there. And we'll start with people who are buying property. The point you make there, which I found interesting, is start with the budget, not the property. And I've always been told location. That's the first thing you think of if you're buying property. You're saying check out the budget first.
Well, unfortunately, with property, everything's a compromise. And unless you have a budget, you're probably going to get heartbroken, because you will see this house and you absolutely love it, but you haven't taken into account that it's not just your bond repayment. It's everything that goes along with it. It's the transfer costs, the bond costs, your municipal rates and taxes, your insurance, possibly a garden service. If you're buying in sectional title, then the levies come in too.
Yeah.
So you need to cut your coat according to your cloth, is a good old way of putting it.
And Simon, you say decide what you need and what you'd like. Previously, last week, you touched on the fact that some people want, I don't know, inverters, tanks,
yes,
and so on and so on and so on.
So it's very much, again, every property purchase, even if you're buying for millions, is a compromise. It will be a trade-off between, if you're in the millions, say it's the size of the property versus the size of the swimming pool. But smaller down, it will be a case of, do you really need that fourth bedroom? Are you going to work from home that much? Do you need the inverter? Will you be prepared to trade the inverter for a fourth bedroom? Because somewhere along the line, you'll see a property, it ticks all of these boxes but that one. And is that the one you're prepared to say, well, I'll leave that because it's 5 minutes away from the school, and that's going to save me a fortune in years to come.
So it's a trade-off, as
yes,
you say. Yeah.
It is very much a trade-off.
Monique, let's bring you in here. Another point you raise in your complete home buyer's guide is, and I think this makes perfect sense, but I guess some people do overlook it, is make sure that you read the offer to purchase carefully, including that small print.
Oh, absolutely. So that's exactly, when you're buying a home for the first time, it might feel a bit overwhelming, a little bit daunting. But it is a legally binding document. So that contract, you need to it's not just the price per se that you're paying. It's all of the, are there any special conditions? What are the bond clauses like? How long do you have to get your bond? What are the compliance certificates like? Is the gas compliance certificate included? Understand the occupation date. Are you saying registration on transfer, or are you prepared to pay rental for the property before it's yours? And then, so if you don't understand anything, you have to ask, because there is no silly question. When you're signing a contract that is, this really does affect your life, you really need to just read it all properly and ask the questions.
Do we have a standard property contract or not really?
Okay,
that's a good question.
That's a great one. And interestingly, all property contracts are what's called boilerplate, in that it's a contract that gets reused and reused and reused, but each agency has their own. And there are a lot of clauses and terms and conditions that you'll see are almost the same across all of them, but not quite. And that not quite is very often in everything contractual. The devil is in the detail. And we saw clients who, they were sold their house through somebody else. They thought it was a cash deal. They didn't realize that they actually the buyers had until the end of next month to pay the cash. They missed out on what they thought was their dream home, because when they made an offer with us, the attorneys went to the other attorneys and said, please give us the money. And those attorneys said, so sorry, you need to wait till the end of August to get it.
Are there any other, let's call them typical challenges that you run into in the situation, or typical mistakes that buyers and sellers tend to make when it comes to this?
I would say that it's a lot to do with timing. Sometimes, so on average, a house takes about 5 weeks to transfer. And if you get that wrong, you sometimes need to, get the storage and, do a whole lot of other ad hoc extra little things that you could have been avoided. If you know that your rental expires at the end of June, you can plan towards that. And it might not be exactly on the day, but you will have far more control if you just kind of have everything in hand. But I want to say that the trick is to work with agents that you trust, tell them the whole story so that they understand everything, and then they will help you through the whole process, and it takes a lot of the stress out of it.
Just another reason why you need experienced experts to guide you through this important process.
Yes. Another interesting one would be the rat clause, which is one which terrifies a lot of people. And the rat clause is the ratification clause, and that essentially means if you make an offer, but you still have to sell your house or you need to get a bond, the agents are allowed to keep marketing the property you've made an offer on until you have successfully fulfilled all of your conditions. And understanding that very often can save you a lot of pain and heartache.
Yeah.
Okay, it's the complete home buyer's guide. You'll find that on wesellhouses.co.za, who are on air with us each and every Tuesday for your property post on Bay FM. Have we ticked all the boxes, or is there...
We've got a great listing in Blue Water Bay. It's 4-bedroom main house with a 2-bedroom flat with parking for 8 cars, undercover at the back, double garage in the front, swimming pool, amazing LARPer for the rugby matches, sea views, inverter system, backup water, and it's priced at 2,850,000, so it very much is priced to sell.
Yeah, and if you can afford 8 cars, then I reckon the 2.8 million is going to be a doddle.
Yeah, very much so.
And we'll be there. We're doing appointments on Friday.
From 2 o'clock.
But it is strictly by appointment. So if you're interested in this, ticks your boxes, please get in touch with us.
Okay, and this is in Blue Water Bay.
Blue Water Bay. On the seaside. So it's literally a stone's throw from the beach.
Fantastic. Been a pleasure. Again,
Awesome.
We'll see you next Tuesday. Thanks,
you.
Monique.
Cool.
Thank you, Simon.
Thank you.
Property Post with Bay FM and wesellhouses.co.za.
You're listening to Bay FM 107.9.